Hello. Hold on, I need to drink this water. Okay. How is everyone? I'm coming at you live with this very important topic. What are we talking about today? Well, is medication the best way to get rid of your daughter's suicidal thoughts? Let's talk about it. For those of you who are brand new, welcome. I'm Brianna. Hey, Noreen. You're here. Love you. I'm Brianna, and I am the founder of this group, and I help teen girls and young women end anxiety, depression, self-loathing, suicidal thoughts, cutting, eating disorders, all of the things so that they can really step into their confidence, their power, and start loving themselves. Love you, Noreen. So if you are joining me live, comment below live. If you are watching, hey Judy, if you're watching the replay, still you're important as well. Go ahead and type in replay just so I know who's here and who's watching. So I think this is an important topic, and I actually was thinking of like, God, I got to do a Facebook Live on this because I had a call with a mother and a daughter over the weekend, and this girl, very, very smart girl, 16 years old. She's already taking like college course, like she's in high school. She's already taking like extra classes in college, and she has suicidal thoughts, and she has them a lot. And the mother was telling me that, the mother is scared because the mother's father committed suicide and her grandfather committed suicide. So of course, when she's hearing that her daughter is having suicidal thoughts, it's scary, because heaven forbid she acts on that, one of those thoughts one day. And what then, right? There's no coming back from that. Well, for some girls who actually do, yes, they try to take their lives, and thank God, by the grace of God, they get through it. But there's plenty of girls and young women that are trying to kill themselves, and they actually do. And they don't come back from that. Okay? So we need to look at what are you doing to help your daughter with those suicidal thoughts? Because any parent who has a daughter or son, right, who has suicidal thoughts, this is scary. Okay? It's scary because now for some girls, some girls will tell me, well, I would never do it, but I just don't know why these thoughts keep coming in. But then there are those other girls that have done it, and they have tried to kill themselves multiple times, 5 times, 6 times, 10 times even. And they're still here, but they don't always want to be here, right? So is medication the answer? Is it the end all be all? Is that the miracle thing that's going to get your daughter over the hump? Well, I have a different perspective on this. So I'm going to say this right now. If anyone is going to blast me for what I'm about to say, you can turn this Facebook Live off. I am not here to people please, and I am not here so that you like me. Okay? I am here to speak the truth unapologetically. And if that ruffles some feathers, so be it, okay? So if this rubs you the wrong way because you have your daughter on medication and you think that that's the best thing for her, and here's what I'm gonna say about medication. I'm not against medication, but I am against some things that are going on for these girls that are not helping them, okay? So I want to be really clear about that. Medication by itself without doing other things doesn't actually do any of the healing work. It doesn't do the self-love work. It doesn't do the mindset work. It's just medication that's feeding in here. And so one of the things that I was thinking about after this conversation that I had with this mother and daughter about the girl who is constantly having all of these suicidal thoughts, and the mother was telling me they've tried this medication and it worked for a little while, but then it stopped working. So then they tried this other medication, but now it's not really working. And they're going from medication to medication because of course this is what the doctor is recommending, hoping that one medication is going to fix it so that the suicidal thoughts will go away. And what surprises me so much is that we're not taking a look at anything else outside of that. Okay, and I'm not talking about all parents. There's plenty of you parents that are looking at other approaches, but there are a lot of parents that are not, okay? And so here's the thing. It's just interesting when you think about it. So if your daughter is having suicidal thoughts, okay, what's going on? So is it a mindset issue? Is her mind broken? Does it need to be fixed? Is there like faulty wiring going on in there? What's her limit? Where are her limiting beliefs? What's playing out in here to get your daughter to have suicidal thoughts? Now, wouldn't it make more sense to help your daughter gain control of her mind so her mind doesn't control her by teaching her, yeah, exactly, her mind is lying to her, by helping your daughter to see that she is not her mind and she is not her thoughts, and so those thoughts are not her, but she can regain control of her life, but she has to learn how to control her thoughts. Now, a big part of this is understanding the thoughts that are coming in are not hers, they're her ego, and then she's got this other thing over here, it's called her heart. And if your daughter is having suicidal thoughts, I already know this, she's completely disconnected with her heart. She doesn't even know how to get in there. She doesn't even know how to access her heart because she's living in here. She's living in the ego. That ego is that place that tells her that she should kill herself, that she shouldn't be here anymore. Just do it. Cut yourself so deep this time that you'll die this time. This is the shit of the ego. Now, when your daughter doesn't have any clue what is the ego? I don't know what the ego is. Well, they don't teach it at school, really, right? They don't teach your girl how to get into her heart, right? How to get out of your ego and get into your heart. Well, that's the inner work that I teach my clients how to do, okay? This is necessary work. This is not just like, okay, yeah, sure, my daughter, she can use a little bit of mindset work. Your daughter absolutely needs mindset work. If your daughter is cutting, if your daughter has anxiety, if your daughter has depression, if your daughter is having an eating disorder, if your daughter has attempted suicide, she absolutely needs to work on her beliefs and her thoughts that have created this whole entire hell that she's been living in. So what happens is we medicate it. And we over-medicate it, and we throw more medication on it. More Prozac, more Lexapro, more this, more that, Wellbutrin, this, that, blah, blah. Let's just keep throwing the medication, hoping that one will stick and do the trick. And what if the answer is not the medication? What if it's not the medication? What if that's not the answer? Now, the doctors will never tell you that, because they'll be sued for malpractice if they don't write a prescription for Lexapro or Wellbutrin or any other medication, right? Because so there's the doctor way and there's a whole other way. The doctor way is like, he's gonna recommend, hey, go take your daughter to a therapist. That's a good idea, go do that, okay? He's gonna be like, here's a prescription, go fill this, and this is gonna get rid of your daughter's suicidal thoughts. Is it? Is it really? Is that the trick? Is that the thing that's been missing? Because here's the thing. Your daughter's, no, I love you, Noreen. Your daughter's mind is not broken, okay? And now, I want to be clear that I am talking about anxiety and depression and suicidal thoughts. I'm not talking about bipolar. I'm not talking about other things, right? Like that, or multiple personality disorder, or things like that do require some medication. I leave those out. I'm not referring to that one bit, okay? I am talking, though, about anxiety, depression, eating disorders, suicidal thoughts, cutting, self-loathing, all of it. That's what I'm talking about, okay? But yes, bipolar, that's a whole other thing. So that's not in this arena of what I'm talking about, okay? Just to be clear. So we're throwing the medication. Why is your daughter having suicidal thoughts? Why? Does she have unresolved trauma? that she's pushed down? What happens when we throw medication at unresolved trauma? Does unresolved trauma just go away? Poof! Vanishes! It's gone. No. Guess what happens? We just push it down. Push it down. More medication, push it down. More medication, push it down. Trauma's still there. Hasn't been resolved. It's still inside your daughter. And it's actually stuck in her body because trauma gets stuck in the cells and the tissues and the muscles of your daughter's body. That's how trauma works. So when we throw medication, let's say your daughter has been through a lot of trauma, big trauma, small trauma, does not matter. When we throw medication at it, but we haven't resolved the trauma that created the suicidal thoughts in the first place, what happens? Where does your daughter go from there? Again, I'm not against medication. I have lots of clients that are on medication, and I will never in a million years tell anyone to get them off of medication. That I don't do that. I don't believe in that. That is a personal choice that you get to make, your daughter gets to make. That's a family decision. I'm here to tell you that there is another way though. And if your daughter is on medication because you feel that she needs it, what is she doing in combination with the medication? Medication by itself? Is it gonna work? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. So is your daughter doing medication and then therapy? How's that working? Is it working? If it's working, great, keep doing it. If it's not working, then something needs to change. Okay? So when we throw the medication at these girls because this is the only thing that the doctors are telling us, because this is what they do. This is how traditional medicine operates. You're sick, we give you a pill. You're not feeling well, here you go. Now, in other areas, this is important. Cancer and all of these things like that. So I'm not talking about any of that, right? And I'm not dismissing doctors, because doctors play a really important role. But at the same time, you have to open up your mind to other possibilities. If you are closed-minded to only one way and only one approach for your daughter, how is that helping your daughter? You know how many parents in this group are sending their daughters into inpatient facilities because your daughter has either tried to kill herself, she's cut herself, or she's having suicidal thoughts? How's that working out? And I don't mean this in like a bitchy kind of way. I'm being literal when I say this. How are the inpatient facilities working out for your daughter? Is that what is helping your daughter? Is the medication helping your daughter? Because I'm the one that sees all of these girls coming to me, okay? Day after day after day. I have more girls that are getting on my calendar, more girls, more parents needing my help, needing assistance. They don't know what to do. They're lost. They feel alone. They feel like everything they tried has not worked. Meds often is just a mask, absolutely. And I need to be mindful with the time because I do have a group coaching session in a few minutes. So I will have to wrap this up in just a few. Here's what I want to say. There is another way. Here's the thing. Your daughter's mind is not broken. Okay? Suicidal thoughts doesn't necessarily mean more medication that's just like, let's just see which one sticks, because your daughter can actually learn how to work her mind, how to get out of her ego and get into her heart. This is a daily practice. This is not something that she's going to pick up in a quick YouTube video or a self-help book. This is going to need consistency, accountability, practice, support, and this is what I offer in my 12-week coaching program for girls and young women. okay? It's really important that your daughter learns this for herself. And it baffles me because we're so keen on sending our daughter. You send your daughter to, high school, middle school, college. What for? Why are we sending them to school, but they're not learning any of these life skills? They don't have any sense of control with their mind and how to regulate their emotions, how to feel their feelings, how to process through their feelings and emotions. And they're going to inpatient like nobody's business because they have no resiliency, because they go to suicidal thoughts every time something bad happens to them, and they go ahead and cut themselves because they don't know how to process their feelings and emotions. And we think medication is the best route for that. I'm going to say that there is another approach. Again, you can do, if your daughter is suicidal and you're like, oh my God, we need to do something. I don't want my daughter to kill herself. I mean, the medication, but what else? What else with that? Just medication by itself? I don't personally believe in that. It pushes the stuff down, but you can do medication in combination with your daughter doing the healing work, the self-love work, working through her feelings and her emotions in a healthy way. Now that would be really, really positive, right? But we got to take a look at, if your daughter's going to school for 8 hours a day or 7 hours a day, and she's doing her math and her English and her science and her history and her social studies and all the things, and there's no class for working this. She's got no class working her mind. She's got no tools in her toolbox. She doesn't know what to do. So we use medicine as the only way, but we need to think of school and education, and we need to think of mental health in the same way. If you're going to send your daughter to 8 hours or 7 hours of school every single day, but they have no framework for their mental health, and extracurricular activities and sports and art and all of the things don't make up for your daughter learning this. Yes, they may be a good outlet for her, but none of that stuff actually teaches her any of what I'm talking about right now. None of it. So we have to look at what you are doing, parents, too. Where are your priorities? What are you instilling in your daughter? What is important for you? Because we like to think that medicine is the quick fix, but is it really? Is it really fixing? Or is it just stirring the pot more? Is it prolonging your daughter's issues even more? You guys can answer that. I don't have the answer for that. I'm going to have to run. I have a group coaching session right now. If you'd like more information, I can go on and on about this, but I'm not. If you'd like more information, watch my webinar, my masterclass. It's called Healing the New Medicine for Anxiety and Depression. I am on a mission to help so many girls around the world end anxiety, depression, self-loathing, suicidal thoughts, suicidal attempts, eating disorders, all of the things. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job so far. But I'm not done yet, and I'm just getting started. So if this speaks to you, if this resonates, thank you, Noreen. If this speaks to you, I mean, I could go on and tell you examples of hundreds of girls that I've worked with who are completely transformed, who are completely different. Noreen's daughter is one of, her daughter was in my program. She just celebrated 1 year of being clean, of no self-harm. That's fucking amazing. So incredible. Excuse my language. Anyways, I do have to go right now. Anyways, you guys can watch my masterclass called Healing the New Medicine for Anxiety and Depression. I'll leave it below a little bit later. And if you'd like to book a call with me, go ahead and do that. Your daughter has to want the help. If she doesn't want the help, don't book a call. Okay? Talk to your daughter before booking a call. Don't do it after. Talk to her before. And that is all. That's all for the day. Mwah! Sending you guys love. Bye.